my name is Maren Elias.
And I'm Aryan David Savio. We're IELTS trainers at MedCity International Academy, Kottayam. Today we'll be doing a speaking sample and we'll be concentrating on three parts. First part will be the warm-up questions, the second part will be the task card, and the third part will be the follow-up questions.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
May I know your full name?
My name is Aryan David Savio.
What should I call you?
You can call me Aryan.
Now, this is the first part of the IELTS test. I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself.
Okay.
Are you a student or do you work now?
I'm actually studying right now. I'm doing my bachelor's in English and Political Science at IGNO.
Okay. Why did you choose this course?
I actually chose this course because I really like learning English, studying English, and I'm also interested in political science because I want to know, learn more about the political climate in our country.
Okay. Talk about your daily routine.
My daily routine would be, I would say that I wake up at around 7. I don't think I'm I'm an early morning person as such, so I wake up at around 7:30, and then I do my morning activities, and I go to college at around 8:30 to 9, and then I stay at college up until I think 4 or 5, depending on how much work I have left, and then I'll be back at around 6.
Is there anything about your course you would like to change?
I'm actually doing a double major course right now, but I wanted to do a triple major course. I wanted to major in economics also. Economics is a subject that I'm very much interested in, but that particular major was not available in the college, in the university, so I couldn't choose that. So I'm doing a double major right now.
I would like to move on and ask you something about shopping.
Okay.
Who does most of the shopping in your household?
Actually, I do most of the shopping in my household because ever since I started driving myself, my parents told me I should start doing the household shopping from now on. So I do most of the shopping at home. I go out and buy groceries and all the household appliances that's necessary.
What type of shopping do you like?
Personally, I would say I like to shop for electronics. I would say that's a craze of mine. I like to learn about new technologies and like buy the latest phone that comes out. Some people say that might be a little extreme, but that's what I like to do. But mostly nowadays, I only go out for a shop, to shop for groceries.
Is shopping a popular activity in your country?
Yes, I think shopping is an integral part of my country's culture. Everybody likes to shop, and everybody likes to shop when they go out as a family, and especially when it comes to certain festivals or holidays, the shopping increases, and it turns out to be a big festival as such. So shopping is a very important part of our tradition.
What type of shops do teenagers like best in your country?
What type of shops do teenagers like best? Yeah. Okay, so I think teenagers like to shop for branded items. I think that's what interests them most. Maybe latest technologies, like I said before. I'm a teenager, so I like technologies. So like that, I think teenagers are more interested in high quality brands or pricey brands more than adults. So I think that's the kind of things that teenagers shop for these days.
Let's talk about movies. How often do you go to the movie?
I actually would like to go to the movies about once or twice a month, but actually I'm not able to do that because of my hectic study schedule. So I guess I go like once every 2 or 3 months now.
What type of movies do you like most?
I actually like action movies, but mixed with a little bit of comedy because that's the kind of thing that attracts me.
What type of movies you don't like?
I would say horror movies is something that I'm not very interested in. It's not because it's scary or nothing, it's just not my cup of tea.
Now I'm going to give you the task card.
Okay.
You will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes to help you if you wish.
Okay.
Here is a paper and here is a task card.
Okay.
You can make use of this paper to note down some points.
Okay.
So your time is up and you can start now.
Okay, I'm a person who likes to travel a lot, and a tourist attraction which I visited that I found very interesting is when I visited Mysore Palace. About two years ago, I went on a school trip with my friends. So I was in 12th standard at the time. There was about 28 of us. So we chartered a bus from Kottayam, and we went on a trip to Karnataka. So Mysore is in Karnataka. It's a very beautiful city, and the main attraction there, the main monument which we wanted to visit was Mysore Palace. I had heard a lot of stories about the palace, about its beauty and its size, and how beautiful the gardens are there. So I wanted to see for myself if all the stories were true. And when I reached there, I was very, very impressed, because it was actually a very well maintained historical monument, and it's the size of the building was just overwhelming. It's actually, I think, the total area of the palace was around 50 acres or so, and it was very well maintained. Even though the palace was very old, it was still a sight to behold. So I think that it was a really good experience for me. So when we reached there, my friends and I, we met up with a tour guide there, and he walked us through the history of the palace as such. So we understood a lot of history that we didn't know before. So we took a tour of the entire palace, not the whole thing actually. Some parts of the palace was sealed off. So we went there and we saw the main rooms, and I was very surprised to see that there were 100-year-old fans there that ran on electricity. So we can understand.
Okay, your time is up. Now let's move to the discussion part. Why do you think tourism is developed now?
I think that tourism is more developed and is more popular nowadays because traveling is much more easier. I think there's different kinds of different modes of transportation available for everyone right now. So I think that's why tourism has become more popular and more developed right now, and more people are traveling across countries to visit tourist attractions. So I think that's why tourism has developed so much now.
Okay. How do people choose their destination?
I think most people might choose their destination based on what their friends tell them about certain places. I think so. Word of mouth would be the best source of knowledge about certain tourist destinations. So I think if someone suggests to me a particular tourist destination and this place would be like really good, so I think that's what I would prefer.
What kind of transportation do you prefer on holidays?
I think that depends, because if it's a place where it's nearby, then I would definitely choose my car. I would like to go on my own, like in my car. But if it's some place far away, like in another country, I would definitely have to opt for the plane.
Do you prefer traveling alone or in tour groups?
Again, I think it depends, because sometimes I feel like I need to travel alone to relax, but traveling with group is also beneficial because it's much more safer.
Do you think traveling affects our health?
I think yes, it does affect our health, but also it depends on where we go. If you go to certain countries, the air and the climate is much better, so I think that's beneficial for our health. But some cities, the pollution is higher, so I think that could adversely affect our health. I've noted down some points regarding some glitches that I made during the video, which my friends pointed out to me. The first being me rephrasing the question to the examiner and confirming the sense of the question. Contrary to popular belief that you cannot question the examiner and can only request for a repeat of the question, this is totally fine. The question, what type of shops do teenagers like in your country? I wasn't sure of what I heard, so I posed the question again to the examiner to confirm if what I heard was right. So the next one is I used more safer instead of safer. I admit it's a mistake, but this mistake is not going to cost me because the sense of what I had to convey was exact. In other words, this mistake did not interfere with the examiner's understanding. So friends, please don't consider the IELTS speaking test as a formal interview. Think of it as a friendly conversation between two people.
With this, the curtain falls. Thank you.